Thank you. Mr Berger.
Acting President, and I rise to contribute on the motion from those opposite, and in doing so it gives me great opportunity to talk about what we are committed to doing in this budget. Acting President, the motion by Ms Crozier reads, and I won't read it all, but here's the main parts, that this House, one, talks about the needs and taxes paid by the Victorian community in their budget. And President, I think no matter what budget we pass, they're saying all the same talking points. But back to the motion, it talks about the debt, and President, something on this side of the House and most Victorians knows that if we didn't do what we did in Victoria to keep us afloat during COVID, we would have been in some real strife. And B, it talks about the fire services levy and taxes. President, I'm proud to support our fireys, and I'll always support our fireys and what they do. In fact, recently, Acting President, you may not know this, but I completed the Fire Rescue Fire Ops 101 training program and had a great opportunity to experience the day in the life of a firefighter. There were simulations, training drills, the works, and the team are absolutely remarkable. And I particularly want to single out Ed Starencas and Kate Donnell for the opportunity to learn what it is like, and I won't forget it any time soon. President, this program has led into a newfound appreciation of what our firefighters face, and that's why I'm particularly proud to be a member of a government that is committed to providing fire services that protect Victorians and their properties to make sure that these services are appropriately funded. The Fire Services Property Levy was put in place to fund our life-saving fire services, following the recommendation from the Victorian Bushfires Royal Commission. We all remember Black Saturday, and I also am old enough to remember Ash Wednesday. But President, the Fire Service Levy was also designed to grow in line with expenditure on fire services to keep up with demand. And when the FSPL commenced on 1st of July 2013 under the former coalition government, the levy was collected to cost recovery at 87.5% of the funding required for the Fire Rescue Victoria and 77.5% of the funding required of the CFA. This year's budget returns for the FSPL to its initial levy of cost recovery, aligning largely with inflation. And I'm quite shocked that in this motion, and then back to the motion at C, President, the motion talks about tourism, and the negativity compares us to the New South Wales and Queensland. A bit odd for those opposite to be cheering on the other states, but I'm proud of Victoria. That's why I want to go anywhere else except for Victoria, as we have it all. And Mrs MacArthur, over in your way, my wife and I visited Stiglitz at the base of the Brisbane Ranges, and it's a great place to come across. And I was amazed to find a little courthouse that was there in a small town that used to be, back in the 1800s, a great little mining town. So we've got all sorts of great places in Victoria that we can visit, and those opposite tend to talk it down quite a bit. And then it talks about health, education, and back to tourism and crime prevention. And President, soon I'll try and address all of these by outlining our important work in these areas. And the motion at E draws light to women's programs and family violence and medical research. Well, where do I begin? The motion keeps going on, but let's address what we have so far. President, this budget has a focus on families. As the Premier has said, the Allan Labor government is committed to helping families with the cost of living, and that's what this budget is about. Think of the $400 school saving bonus. This is a new commitment to the education of our kids, unlike what the motion suggests. A bonus for every student enrolled at government school and eligible families at non-government schools. It will give families with children at government schools and eligible families at non-government schools a $400 boost to help with uniforms, camps, excursion and sporting events. In the history of our state's development, education is the most important way to build our future. That's why we are building 100 new schools by the end of 2026, a pledge blown away with 75 new schools already in communities where it is most needed. And we are dedicating $1 billion to the construction of the remaining 16, ensuring that every child, regardless of postcode, has the access to quality education. President, this budget also delivering on the educational needs of my community in Southern Metro and my community of Camberwell, which I know dearly misses their former hard-working Labor member of Parliament, John Kennedy. And President, we've delivered $9.7 million in funding to the Camberwell Primary School. And President, it is happening. This school community deserves it. They're a pillar of our community and our state. In fact, They're one of the only properly bilingual schools in our state. All students are taught French and English, so the connection is real. The bricks and mortar do not make a school. It's the nurturing environment, an environment of hard work, discipline, passion, care and compassion, the first-rate classrooms and the dedication teachers that give our kids the best chance in life. That's why we've committed $753 million to maintain and enhance our education institutions. From crucial maintenance projects ensuring safe and vibrant learning spaces to the expansion of facilities in our fastest growing schools. And we recognise the tireless efforts of our educators, the architects of our children's future. With $139 million allocated, we bolstered their ranks with professional development opportunities, mental health support and flexible working arrangements. President, this year I've spent many days visiting kindergartens in my community of Southern Metro. We know that an early start equals the best start, and that's why with $129 million we're continuing the rollout of 3-year-old kinder, ensuring every child receives the start in life they deserve, setting them up for success. And we're investing $19 million to renovate and modernise kinder facilities, fostering environments for growth and learning. And our commitment extends beyond the classroom walls. We recognise that there are diverse pathways to success, and therefore we're investing $71 million to support young people in completing their secondary education at TAFE. Additionally, $23 million is dedicated to improving access to our vocational education and training schools, empowering our youth with the skills to thrive in a workforce that is constantly modernising. President, we're also funding $6.8 million for the Glasses for Kids program, tripling the size of that program. This program will reach a further 74,000 prep to grade 3 students at 473 government schools across the state. The program will provide free screening and glasses for students who need them. It will also help families by no longer needing to juggle appointment times to incur additional out-of-pocket costs. As we know, this budget is focused on families, and a big part of families is sport. For me, it was football, and for many of my kids it was netball, and it all adds up, especially if you have 6 of them. That's why the Allan Labor government is investing in a further $6 million to extend this program, providing vouchers worth up to $200 for eligible families for the cost of sports. The Get Active Kids voucher program has always been a popular one in my community, so I encourage as many parents as possible to use it as much as they can. I also encourage parents in my community of Southern Metro to get their kids involved in swimming. It is a vital skill to have, and for the nation that is known across the world for its beaches, beach culture, surfing and more. Not enough Australians have it. That's why I'm proud that we're investing $116 million to the Active School Kids program, including $73 million to support schools to run swimming and water safety programs for their students. President, we're also investing $11 billion for our healthcare system, helping our hospitals care for their patients and continue to recover from the impacts of the pandemic. We know our healthcare workers are heroes. They stood up for us in the pandemic, and we must always stand up for them where we can. President, we know that planning in this space is important, so we're investing $8.8 billion to fund our hospitals in the long run, $755 million to get up and running new hospital facilities, and $1.2 billion to address the Commonwealth, reducing the funding to our hospitals and more. We are committing $146 million to ensure the Ambulance Victoria has what they need to meet its needs of our growing state, and $126 million to supply the blood and many related services that Victorians need when they need it. And we've got $118 million to upgrade infrastructure at the Alfred. And President, that means a lot. It's only walking distance, a few hundred metres away from my office, and it delivers world-class support. I've had the privilege to visit many times as a local member. It was only a few weeks ago when I had the pleasure to visit with Deputy Premier, who in his capacity as Minister for Medical Research, 2 of the world-class research facilities. And President, that's why I know that $40 million to continue upgrading and replacing essential engineering infrastructure is vital. They deal with our state's most critical infrastructure, and I've had to change outfits to ensure nothing was contaminated. The level of care that they take each day is incredible. But President, we know the healthcare system is complex and ever adapting. We know we need to support the NDIS patients as best we can at a state government capacity. So I'm happy that we're investing $233 million to prepare in its next opening and a change to our state, particularly in my community of the Southern Metro and for generations to come. I am committed to finding a better way to protect first-time home buyers and those building their family home from being taken advantage of, and I'm proud that we're doing our part. And importantly, we're investing, and I'm calling it investing because it's setting our next generation up for life. From millions of schools and TAFE, cutting property taxes by millions.
Thank you. Time's expired.